Joy and I always talked about the one date that we had. You've heard me say this before. I'll just start numbering all my stories. But when we came to Texas, neither one of us was from Texas. We're now naturalized citizens. But when we came, we did not know what good Mexican food was. And so we went to Pancho's for a while. And if you work for Pancho's, I'm sorry, I love your quesadillas. They're awesome. And that's it. But we went to Pancho's, we raised the flag, and someone took me on a business trip. They took me to Papacitos. And I came home like, I've discovered heaven. I know where it is. And I'm taking Joy, and we're going on a date, and someone was watching the kids, and the kids were little. And we gotten a report on one of our children that was bad. And we talked that problem all the way down. This is when there was not one close by. It was Airtex, way down there. So all the way from here to the Airtex, we're talking how bad. And the more we talked, the worse it got. And we're sitting there through Papacitos and through the green sauce and the red sauce, through the chili rellenos, through the fajitas. It was one of the worst meals we'd ever had because we started negative and we just flowed with it. You know, tonight, one of the only things that I can help you with, and we'll dig into this a little bit more next week, but when you have a temptation to go negative, you're so much better off just simply going quiet. Because when they started going negative and started talking this way, first they said, we can't take this land. We can't do this. We can't. And then they said, then they got negative on the land. Remember, they just said it's a good land. Now they said it's a land that devours its inhabitants. It's a harsh land. It eats people up. We can't do this. And then they said, and we look like grasshoppers in our sight. And so we do in their sight. And what we see right there is just a simple principle of how you see yourself is often how you think other people see you. So we're grasshoppers. You know, they found out 40 years later that the people of the land were terrified of them. They didn't even know it. They said we're grasshoppers. And they begin to project. Now, did God ever say, I am sending you in as grasshoppers to be squashed by the people of the land? He never did. He said, I'm giving you this land. And they didn't, they chose not to believe that. They chose to believe every negative thing that those 10 spies said. And so we're going to find out what happened. So instead of being happy that night, we're going to find out the people cried all night.